Jacob, look at this picture.
No, I don't think she's.
This is your daughter.
Jacob, I think you're full. I think you did something to this baby, and now you're trying to make up excuses as to why you don't remember.
You're under arrest for what you did to that baby.
It's March in Polk County, Florida, weeks after a 4-month-old baby nicknamed Strawberry died suddenly, and investigators are looking at one person, her father.
So, the night or the day that he found Strawberry on her house on the floor, you guys took her to work, and she said that Strawberry is fine. You said Strawberry was fine, right?
I mean, as far as I'm aware, again, I was telling you, I prefer not to talk about the entire day.
I'm not asking for times or anything. I'm just saying.
When you guys dropped her off at work, you both said she was fine. I'm just repeating what you guys said in your interview. If I'm wrong, correct me. But
I mean, I'm sticking with what I said in the interview.
Okay, that's what she said in the interview. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm not trying to trick you at all.
No, I know.
It's
just, in my personal view of it, I'm not going to change my answer just because.
Oh, I don't want you to change your answer.
Of that, you know. Yeah. So, what I really want to do is, if you got any questions, if there's anything about that day, just for reconsideration.
Sure.
Police identify the man seen here as 22-year-old Jacob Kubai, who's suspected of harming his infant, Willow Strawberry Kubai, after autopsy results revealed disturbing details behind the child's death.
so, Detective Scheidegg can go over with you what was found at autopsy.
All right, so during the autopsy, there was upwards of 10 fractured ribs in the healing stages.
Jesus.
Her spine was hemorrhaged and swollen. You understand what that means?
Kind of.
What does that mean to you?
The spine... Actually, no, that kind of don't make sense because spine's a bone, but if you could explain.
It means somebody grabbed her and squeezed her. She then had what were described as 10 blunt force strikes throughout her head.
The front of her head.
The front of her head.
Her forehead.
So right here where I'm going with my pen. Okay? There was then... Remember how in the hospital they were saying there's a fracture to the top of her skull? That was incorrect. It was in the back of her skull. Like someone had taken her and gone like this on the table. And what the medical examiner told us is that injury would render her unconscious fairly quickly. Not like it happened in Georgia, not like it happened 2 weeks ago, like it happened in your care.
Right.
So, our question is, did an unintentional action happen? Were you holding her, or feeding her, and she accidentally hit something? Did you trip? What caused that injury to her? I'm not saying that you intentionally did anything to her, okay? But if it was an accident and unintentional, then we need to address that. We need to discuss it. Because right now, we don't have any answers, and we know that it's not a medical issue, that she was injured. And we know that the injury occurred while she was in your care. We also know that when you went to Walmart that night, you did not take her with you, even though you said you did.
I didn't?
No.
You pulled video surveillance.
The detective reveals horrifying injuries sustained by the child, including 10 broken ribs, a skull fracture, and hemorrhaging to her spine. According to an arrest affidavit, Jacob, who serves as the main caregiver, was alone with the child for 3 hours after dropping his wife off at work when he told detectives he had taken the baby to Walmart and carried her throughout the store. But when investigators checked it out, Jacob can clearly be seen holding nothing but groceries. Now, one detective confronts him about that discrepancy in his story.
No, I
She's
kind of
not-
figured we asked about dates and stuff.
She's not with you. So where was she?
You know what?
And where was she all the other times you went to Walmart and you didn't right there? Because it was at work. Because we pulled all those video surveillances too. So we need to know what's going on, Jacob. Did something unintentionally happen to Strawberry that night?
If it
I
did,
know all of it, okay? I'm still sticking to what I said, okay? And personally, I would like to go ahead and get it.
it's probably a good
If we'll go
idea.
ahead, because I'm genuinely scared.
You can keep it there.
Can I say one more time? I can't talk to you anymore. You requested a lawyer. If you'd like to talk to me, you'd have to ask me to continue to talk to you.
Okay.
If that's something that you'd like, you literally have to ask me to continue to talk to you.
Okay.
Jacob abruptly requests an attorney and ends the interview. Investigators later determined Jacob had allegedly beat the 4-month-old before heading to the store and returned home prior to rushing the infant to the hospital. Evidence photos of the suspect's home reveal a, let's just say, less than ideal living situation, showing trash and clutter scattered throughout the home, complete with a bassinet stashed in a closet. Moments later, detectives return with a clear message for Jacob.
Hey, Jacob. Do me a favor, stand up, order. Doesn't your chest on your back? Put them together like a crayon. There you go.
And you're under arrest for what you did to that baby.
Jacob is cuffed and escorted out of the room, but it's not long until he has a change of heart and decides to speak to detectives.
All right, Jacob. It's to my understanding that you requested to speak to me. Okay. No one has forced you, or made you come in here to talk to me. You're here on your own free will, at your own request, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Jacob agrees to talk, but this time sings a starkly different tune.
We're all ears, Jacob. Go ahead.
Well, I was kind of sitting there, and I just kind of hit.
Kind of a little internal conflict in this sense. Part of me is like, this is
I'm sure it's been horrible.
one thing I don't tell people, and I haven't even told people, is I did tell people. When I was younger, I used to hear noises and stuff like that. When I was a kid, I thought that was just imaginary stuff. There was one night, it happened after my dad died and everything. I was laying in bed. I couldn't tell you the time, but it was dark out. This is all the way back in California. I used to live. I can tell you an age, but my guess, I think I was 16 and a half. That night, I was trying to fall asleep. And that was the first time I heard a voice. It was a female voice. I'd say a rough range of between my age to early 20s. At first I couldn't hear it, and ever since I've been obsessed with horror stuff, I've been somewhat scared of dark and all of that. And one of the things I feared, I had a lot of fears, was sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis?
Yes. Or something like that. And so I kind of brushed this off as sleep paralysis. At first I couldn't hear the voice.
You brush what off?
The whole experience I'm about to say now.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought, again, over-imaginative mind, with the fact that it could have just been sleep paralysis. I heard the voice, and it was whispering. I can tell what it was saying. At first. And then it was getting louder and louder. And it was telling me to go ahead and kill my brother and kill my mom. Straight up. Now I don't know what that voice was. Like I couldn't recognize it. It's not from someone that I've talked to.
You heard that right. After asking for an attorney and ending the first interview, Jacob makes an about face and now tells detectives he has been, quote, hearing voices.
How often do you hear these voices? Like once a month?
I couldn't tell you.
Twice a year?
I wish I could.
Sometimes not at all in a year?
I know it's free. I can play.
Frequent? At least every month?
Again, I can pinpoint, but I know that it's enough that I can notice. You know, if I would assume if it was happening 2 times a year, I wouldn't really at 9. I would think that's not thinking.
Okay.
And being so used to it, I kind of ignored that, some in a sense. But I guess look at modality, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does.
I don't think it makes sense, but I just, ever since that night, I mean, just everything.
Investigators hear Jacob out, but it's not long until they decide they've heard enough.
It's a lot to deal with on your own and not be able to discuss it with anybody.
This more feels like in a sense it's real. And flat out, I think everything after that day is not real. Because shortly afterwards, I get told to move to Florida with my family. And then, you know, just life continues. I wondered why I had such bad memory issues, because I never had any children in high school. But after everything in Florida and all of that, it was getting worse and worse.
When you moved to Florida, it started getting worse and worse?
Yes.
With your mom and your brother?
Really, before then, like I said, after that, it was slowly deteriorating. And it's gotten to the point where I'll be in the conversation and forget what I want to say. I get the idea that you want to say a point, sometimes you forget that point.
Mm-hmm.
But it's getting to that point where it's mid-conversation. And had something just mentally wrong in the sense of memory. I was getting more and more concerned because, yes, there's a lot of things people relate to with like, oh, I forgot, I walk into a room and I forget. There's moments where I'll get up from the bed that I'm lying from because I had to go do something, whatever it was, I'll forget that. It's like a request I'm giving my life, and I have to ask again and again and again. So there's not a big part of me that just doesn't think any of this is real. That I never knew.
It's real. That's your 4-month-old daughter. Right there. That it's real.
I wouldn't do something like that. I know
Those
myself
bruises don't just show up overnight. Those bruises, they don't just show up overnight. A skull fracture doesn't just show up overnight. Something is done to make those things happen.
But that's how injuries go.
What happened on my chicken? What did did the voices tell you something?
Not that I know, because all I do know is what I've told you.
Then why did you want to come back in here and talk?
A realization of sorts.
You what?
A realization of sorts. That I don't think any of this is real.
It's real. Okay? It's real. And Strawberry, according to the medical examiner's office, was hurt in your care, and she went unresponsive, brain dead, and she died. It's real.
And I would like to go ahead and believe you, but as I've stated, I think from that point onward, from that night, I don't believe any of this is real. I don't believe I'm married. I don't believe that.
You don't believe you're married?
I don't believe I'm married. I don't believe I ever had my first job. I don't believe I have a car.
What?
Jacob now tells detectives he doesn't believe any of this is, quote, real. But one investigator isn't quite buying his new story.
I don't believe any.
Why do you feel like that all of a sudden? After this incident this night, why all of a sudden do you feel all those things?
You know how you're saying that I don't get time to myself?
Yeah.
Or how I said that, whatever it is, right? The point is, I don't get time myself to think. Not in my sleep, not any time, basically. I'm sitting here wondering how I'm here.
Well, because Strawberry is dead. That's why. And she died in your care. That's why you're here. Okay?
In this, whatever this is.
And it's real.
I don't.
Have you ever seen a doctor for this before? You're hearing voices?
No, I have not.
Did you tell the doctor up in Georgia that you were hearing voices?
No.
Have you ever told it to anybody other than the two of us sitting in front of you right now?
Possibly my wife that I heard had an experience like I was talking about that day. And I believe I mentioned
What day? That day?
No.
What day are you talking about?
The day when I did hear that voice. That first instance.
Was that when you were in California or when you were
Correct.
here?
In California.
Oh, so you told about that
Later on
later in past tense. Okay.
in our relationship.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. But you've never sought help for any of it?
No, because, again, part of me wants to go ahead and ignore that.
So do you think that something happened to Strawberry and you blocked it out? Because
Yes.
you don't want to think that it happened? Is that what you're trying to say?
If you're asking me personally,
Yeah, what do you think? I want to know what you think. Like, why do you think that you don't remember what happened that day? And then now it's not all real.
Jacob doubles down on his claim before offering up a further explanation that sends one detective over the edge.
I knew myself back in high school. Okay? It's funny that I still have those traits as from high school, as if nothing's changed. I think it's a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. I also think there's a lot of representation in this whole dream / scenario of how the self-hatred of myself and the depression and everything else, and giving reasons to go ahead and hate myself. Because nothing makes sense. Why the hell am I staying with someone that would go and abuse me constantly? In our beginning of our relationship, we did not start off the best, right? Almost straight away, she finds out about it. And I went ahead and promised her I'd go ahead and change. And I did. But it wasn't permanent, unfortunately. And just everything that's happened since that specific day when I first heard the instance just doesn't feel real. And I guess there's a part of me that doesn't want to accept that.
Jacob, I think you're full of it. I think you did something to this baby, and now you're trying to make up excuses as to why you don't remember.
Was your daughter real?
As I told you, I don't think me going to Florida is real. I can list what I think is not real.
Next, investigators confront Jacob with a picture of Strawberry. Let's see how that goes.
I don't think that...
Jacob, look at this picture.
No, I don't think she's real.
This is your daughter that you had with your wife, that you legally married.
That you've been taking care of the past 4 months.
While your wife went to work.
That you were
jobs.
That you were able to tell us about in depth at St. Joseph's Hospital. But now, because we're telling you you're going to jail, now you want to say that you don't remember anything and that this is all not real and that you hear voices. I don't buy it. I don't buy it, Jacob. I think you're looking for an excuse and you're looking for a way out, and you're not taking accountability for what you did to your daughter. That's what's so sad about it, is that you're not taking accountability for your actions. This little girl depended on you. She needed you. She can't take care of herself. She can't feed herself. She can't change herself. She needed you. She can't walk. She can't talk. She can't crawl. And you weren't there for her. You did something to her. You got pissed. You got tired, whatever. She did something that upset you, and you lost your temper. And you hit her head on something, and she went unresponsive. And then she died. And you're not man enough to take responsibility for that. Now you want to say that this is all real, it's a dream, and you hear voices? I don't buy it. At all. At all.
That's fine.
Go ahead and put him in handcuffs. Go back to the police cell.
Stand up, now.
Jacob was booked for aggravated manslaughter of a child, aggravated child abuse, and 2 counts of child neglect. He later accepted a deal and pleaded guilty to aggravated manslaughter of a child while the other charges were dismissed. The now 23-year-old was sentenced to 30 years behind bars.